What do you do? What are your responsibilities? Who do you work for? IELTS examiners are very interested in your work, and questions about work are some of the most common in Speaking Part 1. At Lumen exams, we always make sure our students know how to answer these questions and get a high band score. In this video, we'll look at the vocabulary you can use to reach band 6, 7, and higher. Let's start with the basics. When you're asked about your job, you can simply say, I'm a doctor, I'm an engineer, I'm a brand manager. You can also say, I work as an IT specialist. But just saying your job title isn't enough to get a high score. You also need to add some details. Let's start with where you work. You can talk about your workplace. I work at a restaurant, I work at a language school, I work at a research center. You can also talk about your company. I work for an international company. I work for a construction company. I work for Amazon. You can also talk about your field. I work in education. I work in retail. As you can see, the preposition changes depending on what comes next. Let's look at a sample answer. I'm an IT specialist and I work for an international software company. You can also add some details about your responsibilities. In fact, examiners often ask this question next. What are your responsibilities? Or what do you do at work? Here are some phrases you can use. I'm responsible for. You can use this phrase to describe duties or areas where you have direct responsibilities. I'm responsible for safety equipment at the factory. I'm responsible for training new employees. I'm in charge of. You can use this phrase to say that you have overall control or authority over something. It often sounds slightly stronger than responsible for. I'm in charge of marketing. I'm in charge of recruiting new staff. My job or role involves. Use this phrase to describe what your work usually includes. My role involves analyzing financial data. My job involves solving technical problems. As you can see, I'm using a gerund here, a verb with the ing ending. I deal with. You can use this phrase to talk about the types of people, situations, or problems you work with regularly. I deal with international clients. I deal with technical issues every day. I oversee. Use this to describe supervising something or making sure it runs properly. It usually suggests a higher level of responsibility. I oversee the production process. I manage. Use this if you are in charge of people, projects, or resources. I manage a small team. I manage the company's social media accounts. I coordinate. You can use this phrase to describe organizing different people or activities so everything runs smoothly. I coordinate meetings and events. I coordinate communication between departments. Now, do a short test to check what you've learned. Now let's talk about your daily routine at work. On a typical day, That's a good way to start your response. On a typical day, I teach several classes and prepare lesson materials. I spend a lot of time. I spend a lot of time answering emails. A big part of my job is dealing with documents. When talking about your job, you can also say how much you work or where you work from. For example, I work full-time or part-time. I work part-time because I'm still studying. I work full-time, about 40 hours a week. I work remotely. I work remotely for an international company. Here we have work for and remotely, which is great for your vocabulary score. I work from home. I work from home and only go to the office occasionally. One common mistake is saying I work at home when you work for a company remotely. This phrase can be confusing. If you work for a company but you do your job from home, use work from home. This phrase is much clearer. I'm self-employed. This means that you have no manager, you don't work for anybody. You have your clients and you do everything yourself. I've been self-employed for several years. I run my own business. I love this phrase. Saying I have a business is more like band 5, but I run my own business can help you reach band 7 or higher. It's a good idea to use adjectives when talking about your job. Your job can be demanding, stressful, rewarding, challenging, and fulfilling. Pause the video to read the examples. If you need band 6 or 6.5, what we've learned so far is more than enough. But if you want to secure a band 7 or higher, keep watching. Let's take a look at some more advanced phrases and idioms. Most of my work revolves around. You can use this phrase to describe the main focus or central activity of your job. It sounds natural and slightly more advanced than my job involves. Most of my work revolves around teaching. No 2 days are the same. You can use this phrase to say that your work is varied and sometimes unpredictable. No 2 days are the same. I deal with different problems every day. What I like about this phrase is that it encourages you to explain more. No 2 days are the same. Why? What do you do? I wear a lot of hats. You can use this phrase to say that you have many different roles or responsibilities at work. It's informal, but very natural in spoken English. I really like this phrase and I would definitely use it in the IELTS test because it often encourages you to say more. What kind of hats do you wear? I wear a lot of hats. I deal with clients, manage projects, and create content for social media. Using phrases like this can even help you reach band 9. Examiners sometimes ask you why you chose your job. Spark your interest. When something sparks your interest, it makes you interested in something for the first time. For example, if you're a scientist now, you could say, biology sparked my interest in science at school. So, a subject at school can spark your interest. Other people can do that as well. One of my teachers sparked my interest in science. Activities and experiences can also spark your interest. Photography sparked my interest in art. To seem like a good fit. When a job seems like a good fit, it means it suits your personality, skills, or interests. It just seemed like a good fit for me. Follow in someone's footsteps. For example, I followed in my father's footsteps. If your father is a doctor and you become a doctor as well, you're following in his footsteps. Another common question is, do you like your job? You can say that your job has its ups and downs. This means that it has both positive and negative or difficult aspects. For example, like any job, it has its ups and downs. The next phrase is grow on you. When something grows on you, it gradually becomes enjoyable or interesting, even if you didn't like it at first. For example, it really grew on me over time. The next phrase is come with a learning curve. If something comes with a learning curve, it means it takes time and effort to learn because it involves new or complex tasks. For example, it comes with a steep learning curve. Now let's practice. You will see 2 high score responses with missing words. Can you fill them in? Here are some adjectives that could help you reach band 8 or 9. Your job can be mentally stimulating, emotionally demanding, detail-oriented, people-oriented, and high pressure. Pause the video to study the examples. Okay, so we've covered a lot of vocabulary. Should you learn all of it? No. First, pick the phrases that describe your job and your story. Also, keep your level in mind. If your speaking level is around band 4 or 5 now, don't try to learn phrases like come with a steep learning curve or mentally stimulating if they feel difficult. Instead, focus on the phrases from the beginning of the video. Another important point, just using random advanced words does not guarantee a high score. If you use advanced vocabulary from this video, but make a lot of grammar mistakes, give confusing answers, or speak unclearly, you won't get a high score. IELTS examiners assess all the criteria equally. Subscribe to my channel to learn everything you need to know about IELTS and join our course where you'll practice and get feedback from real IELTS trainers.